All right, so going to game 3, you said Matt's favorite on the play. What is Matt going to be looking for in his opening hand? Do you want to make sure you have Entomb probably? Do you want Reanimation Spell, Entomb, Careful Study, Counter Magic maybe? What are some of the crucial things that you really want?
It's just the same thing every game. You just want card that puts Jin Gitaxis or anything into graveyard, card that brings it back from graveyard to play, and then the rest of your hand's just cantrips, counter spells, and land.
Yep, just like most combo decks it feels, right? You get whatever your combo is, plus maybe a little disruption.
Maybe some cantrips just to make everything work out.
Yeah. Find any missing pieces.
Yeah.
Hit your land drops. How about Reuben? That's a much harder question. What is Reuben looking for? A lot of counter magic, obviously.
Reuben wants probably a mental misstep, a force of will, a brainstorm, and cards.
Okay.
Like 2 lands, one of them fetches, some cards. Like Vendilion Click's pretty good here, just as a way to kill them.
Yeah, you can drop click down. Pretty effective.
Looks like Reuben is...
Is he checking the time? Potentially?
I think he might be going to use the restroom.
Using the restroom?
One of the above.
So heading back to us for a second here while Reuben takes a quick break. I'm Gavin Verhey here with Arielax here at the Star City Games Open Series in Cincinnati, Ohio. For those of you who have missed it earlier, Standard Open just finished up about an hour ago, not that long. It was won by Caw-Blade of all decks.
The finals was Vampires versus Caw-Blade, but that's not really the story of this event. The real story is that the top 8 had 6 unique archetypes. And there were 2 Caw-Blade decks in the top 8, yes, but the other archetype that doubled up was something that we haven't seen a lot of. Some people call it Hawkward, some people call it Tempered Steel, but Mono White Beatdown put 2 people into the top 8, and that's not even counting Caleb Druid's Pure Steel Paladin deck, which is completely different.
Yeah, I think Tempered Steel is a deck a lot of people didn't prepare for coming into the event. Yeah. And I think they'll start to prepare for it now because that deck is fast and explosive and resilient too.
I think it's still going to take at least another result for people to actually prepare for it the full way they should, but the only player in the top 8 who really was prepared was Matthew, I'm forgetting his last name right now, but Matthew with the Vampires player, who had Ratchet Bombs and Shatters and all of the Vampires removal in his side, or out of the sideboard were the Ratchet Bombs and Shatters. Main deck he had Lightning Bolt, Arch Trail, Arch Trail is really good, assuming Tempered Steel is not in play. And Dismember and Gatekeeper and all these cards, Sorin's Thirst, and all the Beatdown. That's enough.
Yeah.
All the other decks, not so much.
Huh. Yeah, it's really interesting to see how that matchup played out. And of course, he got to play against Tempered Steel too, which is pretty nice for him.
Yes. Swiftly 2-0'd the Tempered Steel player.
Yeah.
Tempered Steel didn't have its best draws, but it definitely was not a good matchup for it.
Interestingly, if you're looking to change up the Tempered Steel deck, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who played it, ended up X2 in the event, and he told me, or X2-1 maybe, and he told me that he really felt like main deck Phyrexian Revoker would have been good for him all day long. Felt like a lot of people had activated abilities. Gideon was a big issue.
Yeah, Gideon's a card that deck has a problem with that wasn't around in block.
And
stops Splinter Twin combo, you named Deceiver Exarch. And it looks like we're about to go back to Game 3 over here.
All right, so entering Game 3, looks like the players have taken their opening hands.
Matt McCullough's keeping.
All right, keeping it in 7. That's definitely something Matt McCullough wanted to do here.
Reuben sends his right on back.
Every card, like obviously you never want a mulligan, but every card in a matchup like this is even all the more crucial.
Well, every card in Legacy is so huge. Just because, you have Force of Will that is really important, you have to have cards in your hand. But the other thing is, there's not really a good way to get back cards in Legacy. These decks have Brainstorm, but that's card quality, not card advantage. You have Top, but that's card quality, again, not card advantage. I mean, Reuben's deck does have Jace the Mind Sculptor, but that's really a finisher, that's not card advantage. And, the only real card advantage spell he has is Cryptic Command.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Matt McCullough, I think Tax is pretty nice little card advantage spell.
I mean, that's a different story.
Actually, it might not even be. You spend so many cards getting that guy into play.
Well, with the combo decks, it's just you don't need that much card advantage because, you can just dump your hand.
Right,
and, once you dump your hand, you're done. You'd be done anyways. So, either you win or you lose.
Yeah.
50-50, right?
So, yeah, I think I agree with you. It's hard to recoup cards, but in a matchup like this, mulliganing is a big deal, especially when you're the Reuben Bresler playing the control deck, and you need all the answers you can find to all Matt McCullough's threats.
Yeah. Looks like Reuben's debating his 6. The person behind him does not seem very amused with the 6.
Oh man, Reuben, not so happy, but no, he's going down to 5.
That was probably the not much disruption, but it has lands and a couple spells, or the no lands. I've got a Force of Will and a misstep, and I hope I draw a land.
Yeah, it's. I think Reuben's right. If it's really risky, you just want to go down to 5 here.
Those are the the typical 2 hands against combo that people always go into the tank for so long with. I have no disruption, but maybe I have a couple things that maybe do something like a Vendilion Click and a Jace, but I'm just not going to live that long if I don't have a Force of Will. Or I got a Force of Will and a misstep, but I can't really do anything. I've got 0 lands. Maybe I counter the first 2 spells, but I'll just die.
Right. All right, Reuben's much happier with this one.
Thoughtseize.
Oh man. Well, misstep on Thoughtseize.
And Reuben chooses to take the 2 instead of Matt and mental misstep. Island. Looks like Reuben has Oblivion Stone in hand, Counterspell, and a Misty Rainforest.
And that top that he played on turn 1 will help. So it looks like that Thoughtseize is going to resolve, probably pluck away that Counterspell.
Yes.
So Reuben's hand is going to be Oblivion Stone, Misty Rainforest, but he does have top in play, which will help regulate his draws.
Yes. Oblivion Stone's kind of interesting if the game goes a bit later, but I don't think that's going to be able to happen against Reanimator.
Yeah, I mean, with only
and
one
I don't
land.
think that Matt necessarily has, or Reuben has enough lands to actually get the 5 at this point anyways.
Right.
He's going to have to use a lot of top draw steps to get there. Matt shuffles off a Ponder.
So Matt just sculpting the perfect hand here.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows what's in Reuben's hand. He knows Reuben doesn't have a lot of interaction. Granted, Reuben has top, but
anything can happen.
Yeah.
I'm expecting an upkeep top from Reuben because he's going to crack this fetch land after if it's not good.
Yeah, I would also expect upkeep
Sees, misstep, brainstorm, land. Yeah, that looks good enough to me. It's got a brainstorm. I keep. Probably stack it. See, the awkward part here is that Reuben wants to draw brainstorm and land as his cards, but he wants to have the misstep access off top. So he probably wants to draw the island this turn, put the mental misstep underneath it, then EOT top to switch the misstep below the brainstorm.
But yeah, sure, okay.
Unless he just doesn't want the land.
Nope, doesn't like that one. I think he's gonna need the land. I agree.
He draws the misstep. He might just not shuffle with. He might just want all of those cards actually, but I was thinking he might want a real counterspell like Force of Will.
All right, well, there's Entomb, and Reuben's going to misstep that.
I think Matt's gonna misstep right back.
Spell Pierce. All right. So much for that.
Yeah, that's gonna resolve.
Entomb resolves.
I think Reuben's got to let this resolve and then start the fight of the reanimation spells. This Entomb's important and it lies up a lot of his cards, but you can't just throw away this brainstorm. I feel like maybe brainstorm's not really good here because you have top, but I don't know. Brainstorm's just always been insane.
Brainstorm is definitely what you want.
Matt's probably going to go get, Iona. Even though Reuben has that Oblivion Stone, I may have gotten Jinga Taxes here.
I mean, Reuben is so far off from using that Oblivion Stone. And if you just...
Yeah, but if the game even goes a little bit longer, Matt actually has to kill Reuben with Iona.
Right.
And Reuben has to find, land, so it's not like he can necessarily... It's not like he's going to miss a bunch of land drops here. So I think Matt may have wanted Jinga Taxes here, but it's probably not super relevant.
Alright, so Reuben's going to crack his fetch line. Shuffling away the island on top, I believe?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think he wants islands because the way he's going to win this game is get a Jason to play.
Yeah, and he needs to use the Oblivion Stone potentially, too.
Yeah, here we go. He's on to 5 cards. He has no real way to, fight counter wars against Matt except for get a Jason to play and start activating it to get to cards in hand that he needs.
Right. And now he's no fetch lines either for that brainstorm.
No, he does not. That's one of the things I really dislike about Sensei's Divining Top is how poorly it interacts with brainstorm.
Yeah. Alright, so Reuben draws some cards.
That is a Relic of Progenitus. That was a good one.
So he can play it.
And a fetch land.
Oh, wow. He can even get rid of the graveyard if he needs to.
Yes.
Cracks fetch land. I was going to say, hope he does that now. Not necessarily activates Relic, but you definitely want to crack the fetch land at least.
Yeah, you want to have,
You don't want to risk just some stray bounce spell or something like that.
Some stifle.
Could be anything.
Active player finish your turn and you have 5 additional turns.
I believe that's Matt saying must be, Reuben saying is.
Also,
so that's time, but I think the players have extra time.
Head on over to the concession stand.
Is that time in the round, he said?
That's time in the round, but I think the players have extra time because they started a little late. We had to put them on the feature match table and all that kind of stuff. We'll find out shortly for you if they have extra time or not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's also possible if Matt has another Entomb, he could just swamp into, like, Exhume. Oh, Crack Relic, okay, I'll Entomb in response, because Exhume does not target.
Right. Is it Exhume an instant?
Yes. Or Entomb's an instant.
Oh, Entomb is. Oh, you mean after the relic resolves?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. I thought you said like, Exhume in response to Exhume.
That was Reuben jokingly tapping Relic before sacrificing it. Man, maybe you'll remove the wrong one.
Yeah. All right, Cracks, Pluto Delta. And I think Matt only have 1 card left?
Maybe.
Or is there a couple cards hidden down there? It looks like there might be 2 or 3.
I think it's 2.
So they have a 1-minute time extension.
Okay. So this match is likely going to end in a draw.
Careful study.
Surprising for a match where game 1 ended on like turn 3?
Yeah, I mean, that Mono Blue attack takes a while. Game 2 took a long time, and Matt was unwilling to concede, but maybe that's going to come back to get him here.
Yeah.
Matt, careful studies away 2 cards. Reuben's hand now counterspell Vidalcan Shackles.
Yeah.
Passes back. Matt draws his card quickly. And Matt passes back. Reuben tops. This game is on full course to be a draw.
Yeah. Reuben actually can't kill in time, and it doesn't look like Matt's going to be able to anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, time... I don't think their actual time has started yet, but even then...
I wonder if... It's possible that Matt did not know about the Entomb trick.
Yeah, if he had the Entomb in his hand, he could have just done it.
Yeah, he did careful study since then, so he's had a lot of draw steps, so it could have been anything.
Yeah. He might probably just drew it at some point.
Yeah.
So he goes for Entomb. Gets Inkwell Leviathan.
Definitely the best one in this scenario. Reuben
Yeah,
draws
kills with 2 hits.
Brainstorm.
Alright, Brainstorm away. Draws Brainstorm, Echoing Truth. Couldn't make out the last card.
Maybe a misstep?
Could be a misstep.
Nope, Scalding Tarn.
Yep, sacrifice Scalding Tarn, shuffling away those cards on top, resetting Sensor's Divining top, finding another island. Interesting. And Reuben is going to... What do you think Reuben does here?
Is he going to Brainstorm?
Brainstorm
that
again?
cannot be right.
I don't like that second Brainstorm. I mean, you have to put 2 of those cards back.
Maybe he's just hoping he draws cards that let him not die. Is that a propaganda?
I don't think that's... Maybe that is? I don't know why you would board propaganda.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think that might have been another force.
No. So his hand is now Forcible Counterspell.
I don't think propaganda does anything.
No, it doesn't. So Matt's going to Brainstorm.
Brainstorms. So there's 2 cards put back. And there must be extra turns by now.
Yeah. This game sounds like it's going to end in a draw, I think.
Yeah, it's almost really good. Unless one player's willing to concede to the other, it seems like it's going to be a draw.
Matt's going to attempt to reanimate. That was a misplay by Reuben. Matt's deck does have days in it. Tapped out instead of Force of Willing. If they are in extra turns, at least. If the game's going to go on a bit longer, he probably wants to force a will, but otherwise he just doesn't want to tap out.
All right, show and tell. Force the will, pitching the last blue card.
Mm-hmm.
And show and tell is countered. Reuben's going to top, leave him there. Draw a card, top again, leave him there, pass. And now they just look like they're going through the motions.
Now it's turn 1. There we go.
All right.
Maybe the card we thought was a propaganda may have been a back to basics.
Back to basics? Interesting. Could be back to basics. Could be, is there misdirection in there? There are 3 misdirections.
There are misdirections on the board.
Could have been misdirection too.
Yeah, just more free counter spells.
I think it might be misdirection.
The one in his hand definitely is misdirection.
Yeah. So, force happens again. Show and tell does not resolve.
Looks like a turn 3. This is just going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Reuben did surprisingly well and battled back from his mold to 5.
Yeah, I mean, or at least he did enough work so that, I mean, he drew pretty well, but he did enough work so that Matt couldn't kill him quickly. He should reanimate, but I don't think it's going to be able to kill Reuben quickly enough. There's Inkwell Leviathan. So that's 2 turns of attacking, but they don't have that much time, right?
No, they do not.
Yeah. So maybe Reuben will concede the Matt, if that's going to be lethal.
I don't think Reuben actually has a way to stop that guy.
No. All right, so they're talking about it. And unclear who just won.
Unclear if there was a winner.
It's either a draw or Reuben conceded, one of the 2.
Yeah, I don't think that the drawback is favorable for either player. I think that the control decks, you can't afford the draws because they just start cascading into each other. Like you get into the draw bracket, you play against the slow control mirror.
They went for a draw?
They did?
Yeah.
They did, in fact.
They drew.
Yep.
All right. Draw it is. So players heading into round 2, both with the draw.
Yep.
And that'll be that. So, head back to the booth. Hey, I'm Gavin Verheim here with Ari Lax at the Star City Games Open Series here in Ohio, Cincinnati. How are you doing today, Ari?
Good. How'd you sleep last night, Gavin?
That's a long story.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For those who were following me on Twitter last night, the short version of the story is that I woke up with multiple bugs on me, like half-inch long bugs, and the hotel wouldn't do anything about it. And so I didn't want to sleep in my bed anymore, so I slept in a chair the whole night. I took a shower, yelled at the hotel, yelled nicely at the hotel. They couldn't do anything, and then I slept in a chair. But I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be here, and it's cool to watch all this Magic being played. So
I think the important part of the story was that the first thing he did after discovering this was post about it on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I mean, like any good person in the 21st century,
yeah,
the first thing you should always do whenever you encounter a gigantic crisis is post about it on Twitter.
Exactly. And people on Twitter said that it was a good idea for him to wake me up.
Right, because I mean, it's fair.
Yeah,
what if your bed had bugs in it too?
Yeah, and my response was, I don't care, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I mean, fair. I was actually worried that Ari would be genuinely mad at me for waking him up this morning, but fortunately he was like, I didn't even remember.
I was dead. I was asleep.
Yeah, I mean, only because we had so much great standard action to watch yesterday. All tons of matches.
Every single round was interesting.
Great matches yesterday, and then top 8 today top 4 today. Great play. Eventually, Cobbly took it down, beating Vampires in the finals.
But there was a lot of really cool decks, like the Jun deck that made the top 8. Made the top 4, my bad.
Yeah,
that deck was awesome.
Yeah, I think that Jun deck is awesome. I think, especially once it gets hammered out by more people that start working on it.
It needs a little bit more to do with Lotus Cobra. It needs a little bit better removal split, but I think that it has a lot of power.
I'm not sure if Lava Match is where you want to be. It seems good on the surface, but watching it play, it just never did anything.
It never really did too much. I think you just want to be closer to I don't know, all the old Jun decks that have done well have had more 4 drops, 5 drops, more threats.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Is like he had tons of lands. He just run out of things to do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, he had lots of man lands, but he needed some actual spells to cast.
Right. Some more planeswalkers, maybe. Some, well, not Sorin. Sorin's not the best, but Liliana maybe. That's a good one. I can't remember who wrote the article. Someone was writing about a deck with like Sark on the Mat and a bunch of the planeswalkers.
Sark on the Mat, sure. Maybe even Abyssal Persecutor could be a thing in that deck. If you have enough ways to kill it. I don't know how the mana is. Gatekeeper Malakir could be interesting.
That seems a little gutsy, but I think when Pat Chapin was considering that deck for GP Dallas, he might have had Gatekeepers in it. I think he had Phyrexian Rangers. I'm sure you can look back at his old articles and find the list, and I think that was long enough ago that those are now free to read, even if you don't have premium. So go back, take a look, and that kind of level of writing is what you can expect if you get premium in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there's great stuff by Patrick Chapin. His articles every week are some of the ones I look forward to the most. I remember that Jund deck had Lead the Stampede in it too, right?
I don't recall if it did. I think it may have at one point.
Yeah, I did at one point, I'm pretty sure, where you would lead into 3 or 4 creatures. Such a Jundy mid-range thing to do.
You'd lead the Stampede into like a Sylvan Ranger, a Gatekeeper Malakir, and like a Grave Titan.
Now can you imagine like Lead the Stampede for like Solemn Simulacrum or something like that?
Yeah. And a Grave Titan.
So Jund. So yeah, that was a really interesting deck to watch, of course. So we had the Jund deck. We had